If a wave of quiet dread washes over you after a performance review, or you feel strangely drained after a team-building exercise, your nervous system is already registering the unseen program. That persistent, low-level hum of unease, the one you dismiss as just being tired or stress, is actually a diagnostic signal. Your body knows something is running in the background, consuming resources, dictating responses. It's an internal alarm bell, ringing softly in your periphery, warning you that the software guiding your daily actions, and even your most private reactions, isn't entirely yours. You're sensing the operational parameters of an invisible architecture installed without your consent, quietly shaping your experience. But where did this program come from? And why is it so effective at hijacking your internal state? What if the exhaustion that sleep doesn't touch, the ambition that feels less like drive and more like a tether, or even that creeping sense of inadequacy isn't some inherent personal flaw, but a targeted output? These aren't just natural emotional states. They are, in fact, precisely calibrated behavioral programs, engineered to produce predictable responses. This system thrives on making you believe these feelings are organic, that they originate solely within you, because that cognitive dissonance keeps you from challenging their true source. The discomfort you feel, that silent internal friction, is the direct result of running code that was never designed for your individual thriving, but for the smooth, unimpeded operation of the machine itself. This isn't just about bad management or the usual workplace stressors. This is a sophisticated form of operant conditioning, deployed through a continuous stream of micro-compliance directives. From the mandatory quick syncs that interrupt your flow, to the endless email chains requiring immediate responses, each small demand is a subtle push, a reinforcement signal. Every time you comply, every time you override your internal resistance to conform, you're inadvertently installing another line of this behavioral program. It's a subtle, almost imperceptible process, where your autonomy is slowly eroded, one micro-compliance at a time, until responding on demand feels like instinct, not a choice. This consistent conditioning isn't arbitrary. It serves a specific purpose: to maintain an incredibly efficient systemic exploitation, an extraction loop that siphons not just your time and labor, but your very capacity for self-direction. The system doesn't just want your output. It wants to control your internal state, your energy, and ultimately your potential. The grind becomes a perpetual motion machine, feeding on your programmed responses. You become a resource to be managed, a component whose energy output must be maximized, not a sovereign individual with distinct needs. This ensures a constant, predictable flow of energy and obedience into the machine. The visible mechanisms, your manager, HR, even the performance review, are often presented as supportive structures, tools for development or career progression. But beneath the surface, they function as critical nodes in this conditioning apparatus. Your manager, often unknowingly, delivers the micro-compliance commands, initiating the next phase of your programmed response. HR frames your discomfort as a personal challenge rather than a systemic issue. The performance review isn't truly about evaluating your output. It's a powerful feedback loop for these behavioral programs, an annual recalibration of your internal settings, ensuring you remain within the parameters of the extraction loop. You might think they're there to help you, but their primary function is to optimize your function within the system. This entire process is cemented by gaslighting. When you express fatigue, anxiety, or a simple desire for more personal time, you're met with subtle cues that your feelings are irrational, that you're not resilient enough, or lacking drive. This isn't just dismissiveness. It's a deliberate tactic to disconnect you from your own intuition, to make you internalize your programmed emotional responses as personal failings. They want you to believe that the crushing weight you feel is your fault, not the intended output of an expertly designed extraction loop. This manipulation ensures your cognitive dissonance deepens, trapping you further inside the machine's narrative, making true self-assessment almost impossible. The constant reinforcement of this reality, designed to keep you compliant, makes genuine escape feel daunting. The feeling that your individual will is constantly battling an invisible, overpowering force is real. But understanding that these feelings are not organic failures but engineered programs is the first step out of the cage. It shifts the battlefield from an internal struggle against yourself to a tactical challenge against an external, identifiable system. You're not broken. You're simply running someone else's code. And recognizing this distinction is precisely where you begin to regain control over your own nervous system, reclaiming territory previously surrendered. To begin dismantling this, you must first become a forensic observer of your own reactions. When does that quiet dread resurface? What specific external trigger? An email, a meeting invitation, a specific phrase from your manager immediately precedes that internal tightening. It's rarely abstract. It's tied to precise moments and specific demands. Pinpointing these moments, cataloging them, allows you to identify the exact stimulus that activates a programmed emotional state. This isn't about fighting the feeling. It's about understanding its origin point within the behavioral program, exposing the operator's cue. The critical insight is this: the system relies on your immediate, unconscious compliance. It conditions you to react instantly, to eliminate any gap between trigger and response. The non-obvious answer, the key that can begin to unravel this conditioning, isn't a grand gesture or a confrontation. It's the tactical insertion of an I delay. Just a few seconds. When the program trigger hits and you feel that familiar tightening, do nothing. Pause. Don't respond to the email immediately. Don't rush to confirm the meeting. Don't immediately validate your manager's demand. This fractional delay, this sliver of reclaimed time, creates an immediate sovereign space within your nervous system, allowing you to intercept the automation before it completes. It's a micro-rebellion. But how do you extend this small delay into a sustainable countermeasure that rewrites your internal architecture? The answer is tactical. A deliberate, observable delay. When a manager initiates a quick sync that makes your chest tighten, or HR sends a seemingly innocuous survey, your programmed response is immediate micro-compliance. This is the precise point of leverage. The countermeasure is to insert a conscious pause, even a single breath, between the trigger and your conditioned reaction. This small, intentional gap is not about defiance. It's about disrupting the operant conditioning that the machine has installed. It reintroduces choice where automated behavioral programs have taken over, giving your nervous system a critical moment to reroute its response. This isn't theoretical. It's a direct intervention in the systemic exploitation of your reaction time. This deliberate hesitation is precisely how you begin to dismantle the extraction loop. The entire system is built on speed, on eliminating the processing time that allows for genuine discernment. When you introduce a delay, even just seconds, you create a flicker of cognitive dissonance for the operator. Your manager, often an unwitting agent in this behavioral program, expects an immediate, predictable outcome. CAR's role in this operant conditioning is to maintain smooth, compliant internal operations. By breaking the immediate response chain, you are not simply being slow. You are actively introducing a variable the program isn't designed to handle. You are forcing the machine to register a signal it can't immediately categorize or control. Your most private feelings, that specific ache of dread before a Monday meeting, the self-doubt after a performance review, or the sudden, inexplicable fatigue. These are not organic. They are often engineered outputs of a sophisticated behavioral program. The system wants you to believe this exhaustion, this anxiety, is a personal failing, not a direct product of systemic exploitation. This is the essence of gaslighting, to make you doubt your own internal reporting, to internalize the discomfort as a defect within yourself. But your nervous system is simply reporting on the code it's running. When you feel that visceral tightening, it's a feedback loop from a program running in the background, signaling you to comply, to stay small, to accept the current terms of engagement. To execute this countermeasure effectively, you must become a forensic observer of your own internal architecture. Pinpoint the exact moments when these programmed emotional states are triggered. Is it the unsolicited feedback from your manager? The automated email reminding you of a looming deadline that demands unpaid extra hours? The subtle pressure to volunteer for a new task that falls outside your core role? Each of these seemingly minor prompts is a micro-compliance trap designed to elicit a specific behavioral program. Start logging these triggers, identifying the sequence that leads to the familiar feeling of being drained. or the impulse to immediately over-deliver. This is how you map the extraction loop running on your nervous system. The urgency to implement these architectural upgrades is not abstract. It's immediate. The rate of evolutionary shifts is accelerating, and the machine is adapting with ever more sophisticated behavioral programs. Those running outdated internal code, passively accepting the systemic exploitation, are falling further behind daily. This isn't a problem for a distant future. It's a current state liability. Your continued unconscious compliance creates an internal cognitive dissonance that is increasingly unsustainable. The cost of remaining within these legacy programs is compounded daily, not just in your energy, but in your capacity to perceive and act effectively outside of the defined extraction loop. Reclaiming your internal architecture is a matter of survival today. Each tactical delay, each moment you intercept an automated behavioral program, is a concrete step toward reclaiming immediate sovereignty over your nervous system. This isn't just about managing stress. It's about altering the fundamental operant conditioning. The objective is to cultivate that critical gap, expand it, and begin to build new, intentional response pathways. When you refuse immediate micro-compliance, you are literally reprogramming your internal architecture. This reassertion of internal control is the fundamental countermeasure against the relentless grind of systemic exploitation. It grants you the processing power to observe the machine's mechanisms without being immediately consumed by them. The power lies not in a sudden dramatic escape, but in the disciplined repeated application of this single countermeasure. The machine relies on your conditioned reaction. Disrupt that reaction even by a breath, and you disrupt the entire extraction loop. Your immediate task is to identify one such trigger tomorrow morning, and before you act, insert that tactical delay. This isn't about fighting the system head-on. It's about disengaging from the behavioral programs that run silently within you. Observe, pause, then choose. This channel exists to arm you with more such protocols. When you are ready for the next level of tactical recalibration, you will know where to look.